Well, folks, here we are. It only took about a year and a half and 3 different contracts and lots of persistence. But I've been talking so much about those mortgages that I decided to go out and get myself one. So I'm happy to report my wife and I closed on our own home here in Puerto Rico just about 2 weeks ago. Incredible. It's very wild to like experience it as the buyer, experience it as the client. I think it was a really good reminder for me about, the value of just, providing a transparent process for folks and having things go smoothly. Learned a lot, but just getting to the house now. And well, here we'll go inside and check
There's my boy. Right, here we are. We're at the house. Way to go, we did it.
So there's obviously now it's like, oh, we closed, we did it. Here we go. Here's a look at the front. Kind of in a cul-de-sac here. This is just a dream come true. I've literally been living either in dormitories or apartments since I graduated from college. Since I graduated from high school in the year 2000. This is the inside. Lots of things, a few things, let me say, that we want to do. Mostly with painting. Come on, buddy. Super psyched to have this space out here, like an outdoor, like backyard. Got the hammock up already. First furniture that was installed was the hammock, obviously. So, but just super psyched, super psyched. And obviously now a little stressed about everything that needs to get done to get us in here. We were working with a buyer's agent, he's a friend of mine, guy named Jose Ramos. I'll put his contact details in the description as well, in case anybody wants to reach out to him and get some help finding the right place. But it was a journey. I think he's been helping us for a year and a half, and 3 different contracts. Like literally, we kind of had very specific criteria, like where we wanted to live and what we wanted with the property. But Jose helped us find several good places. We started discussing contracts and making offers. We had, I think, by the end of the process, we'd had 3 offers accepted on 3 different properties. The first offer that was accepted, we weren't able to get contract language like they wanted. It was a fixer-upper. They wanted way more than what it was going to appraise for. And to us, my wife and I just didn't make any sense to have to pay above appraised value for a property that then needed a bunch of repairs. We were kind of like, well, if it was move-in ready, well, then maybe we could justify, just like buying it, maybe paying a little bit over appraised value if it's worth it to get in. But the first one, that kind of fell apart when we couldn't. It took months too, back and forth trying to get these folks to agree to a different value, but we weren't able to get that to happen. The second contract, that was kind of a disappointing situation where actually personally know, to an extent, like through work, but personally knew the listing agent. And, Jose helped us find the place. Jose knows the listing agent as well. We went to the property. This is like an awesome opportunity. Made an offer the same day, got it accepted. They sent us a contract, and I requested a couple little changes. And wouldn't you know it, that I guess in the time between them accepting our offer and making changes to the contract, which was like a matter of about 48 hours, that agent showed the property to some other folks who made a higher offer than us, and so they ended up pulling our offer back off the table. So beware that getting an offer accepted, as exciting as that is not the same as having a signed purchase agreement, right? And having that deposit be sent. So that's what makes the thing official, right? And so even knowing the agent, even have like a personal connection with them, does not guarantee that it'll go smooth. So that one fell through, which was a real gut check. That was really uncomfortable. We really thought that we'd found the one. But as things go with life, one door closes and another door opens, literally. And not too much later, Jose had been keeping an eye out for things, saw a new listing pop up in this community that we were really interested in, and it was for sale by owner. And that's probably the other thing that I learned in this process that was a really big lesson, is that A lot of what determines how smooth a process goes once you're under contract, I'd say comes down to just personalities of the people involved, right? So personalities of the seller, personality of the agent, personality of, if there's attorneys involved. People's personalities have a lot to do with how smooth things can go, because we came, we saw the property. We were not allowed to take any photos of the property when we were here. The sellers were kind of particular about that. They didn't want us taking any photos. So we didn't do that. And then, but we made an offer, got it accepted, had a good rapport with them. But they had like really specific ideas on how they wanted things done. For example, they wanted me to give them a check for the full deposit, like a personal check that they were going to deposit in their personal bank account, because it was like for sale by owner. They weren't using an agent. They didn't even want me to use my buyer's agent, which that was kind of uncomfortable, because it was like they wanted to, I guess they just distrust agents, which is too bad. But because it kind of led to some complicating factors. But like, yeah, that was kind of a weird thing, which was like dealing with the earnest money deposit. That like took 2 weeks. I eventually had to say like, look, I know that you want me to put my money in your bank account, but like, that's not how this actually works. Because your earnest money deposit, that's supposed to sit in an escrow account. Like, that's my money for my closing costs and down payment when we get to closing. It's only if we don't get to closing for a reason that's attributable to me as the buyer that I would lose that deposit, and that then they would get it. But they wanted it like in their account now, which is obviously a super bad idea, because what if they spent it? Or, what if tons of things could happen, and then we would get all the way through the process, and then that deposit money wouldn't be where it needs to be. So, but yeah, personalities was like a really big factor. Just trying to like manage expectations. A lot of the complications that I see on other people's deals, and the complications that the few that we had on our deal, just came down to that. Came down to personalities, came down to people's expectations of how they think it should go versus how things are supposed to go. So that was a big lesson. One thing that I learned is like how easy it is to become emotional about the decisions, right? Like when it's your house for your family and it's your money on the line, it's like super easy to just lose sight of your values, or lose sight or kind of be even willing to like overextend yourself or overextend money just because you're desperate to get a house. And there were multiple times in the year and a half and through the 3 contracts where like we seriously considered paying like what I think now would be way too much over appraised value, for a property that would need a bunch of work. That was one. So that was definitely like a big realization, is like how easy it is to become emotional, and how important it is to try to stick to your values, stick to the plan, stick to your budget, those kinds of things. And that it does, with persistence, it will work out. So that was a big lesson. Another good thing, I mean, thankfully the loan process went super smooth. I mean, because that's what I do. So I'm glad that part went smooth. But not enough can, I think, be said about the importance of providing the right documents in the process, like all the way correct. There's so many times that we'll get like crappy versions of a document, or like the tax returns aren't signed, or those kinds of things. Just actually providing the right documents, like not screenshots, not blurry photos. Like I submitted all of our documents one time and was able to get all the conditions cleared out, which was huge. I mean, it was a big relief that the credit, income, and asset part got reviewed and got done so quickly and easily. That was a big lesson as well. And it's just, I guess, like the other big lesson is just like, being willing to be persistent, and that it's like kind of a roller coaster of a process. There's a lot of ups and downs, but man, it worked. It worked. I was able to use somebody else's money to buy my house. So we're just ecstatic. And so I'll try to post some other little videos here showing updates of like the work that we're doing. Like just getting, I'm actually here right now waiting on a painter to show up, because we started painting and I realized that to get my family in here, I'm only doing it on evenings and weekends. And it's just like, I just gotta get somebody in here to help us out and get this done so that we can move in. But anyway, it can be done. It can be done. So anyway, I'll have another update, I guess, on how the construction or how the repairs are going. So anyway, till next time.